C-section and smoking are protective of primary prolapse. This was a tweet of an article. Amy Park, who's a urogynecologist, she tweeted this, and I had to laugh. I was like, are you kidding me? This is what you got? You know? It just goes to show how little that we know about prolapse. And when you're reading the literature, you need to be aware of what the source is. And this is a journal that's focused mostly on surgeons. And again, how we look at prolapse as pelvic floor PTs is incredibly different than surgeons. I think there's crossover in the context probably of like tissue type and collagen, those sorts of things. They need to know that from a surgery aspect. And I think for us, it's important to understand if there's genetic factors. But the research is really only pointing to a couple of things, parity, they say vaginal delivery, hiatus size, so the opening size, like, okay, fine, I get that, and maybe BMI. But what if, I don't know, maybe if a risk factor for prolapse was, I don't know, getting pregnant and being pregnant for 9 months. Apparently we're having Wi-Fi issues today, so we're going to just get rid of Wi-Fi and call that good. Had 2 C-sections, have pelvic organ prolapse. To my knowledge, it's not genetic. I'm not particularly flexible. Don't have significant collagen factors that I'm aware of. But again, like, what does that say? If you have a C-section, that'll protect you from prolapse. I'm calling BS on that as an N of 1. And then smoking is going to protect me from pelvic organ prolapse? No, come on, give me a break. Like, maybe if you were a smoker, you're less likely, but protective? Come on. Like, no. And maybe later on, depending on how long you smoked, you're going to have pelvic organ prolapse because you are coughing and have lung cancer and maybe you're dead. So I think in this day of wanting to have evidence-based and evidence-informed, I think we have to be aware of the questions that are being asked and what truly is coming out. And again, if you're not considering all the factors, be aware that you're not considering all the factors. Like, to mention smoking as protective and not pelvic floor muscle training, give me a freaking break. But that one, it made me laugh because it was just so ridiculous that C-sections and smoking is protective of pelvic organ prolapse, and you're putting that in a published research paper. And what am I supposed to do if I'm a provider? You know what? I think you should have a C-section and start smoking. No, bad advice. So use some common sense. When you read stuff like that, it is a reminder that we don't know everything. Take everything with a bucket or grain of salt. It was published, yes, it was published. I won't pop it up in my stories because it's kind of ridiculous. But yeah, I'll see if I can pull it up. I have the screenshot of the tweet that Amy Park did last week, but I'll try and pull up the actual paper and see if I can get it out. But yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. So, no smoking, just say no. If you've started, try and stop. I've never smoked. It's just not on my to-do list. C-sections were not on my to-do list either. Had 2 of them. Thank you, children. Not protective of prolapse. But I don't know. What do you think? Like, it's kind of ridiculous, right? Like, what if someone told you that? Like, what the hell? I don't know. It's another episode of Days of Our Lives in Research Land. I don't know. But yeah, share with me some of the stuff that you've been told, like what's protective of prolapse. Or what you've been, or anything that you've read, whether it's in just like general media or in research. I'd love to hear it. But in the meantime, no smoking, and no, don't think that you're going to protect yourself with C-sections. The more you know.